beautiful South Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Commanders and the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. Charles, so often it's the quarterbacks that are in the spotlight, and in this game, no different. We have a very compelling matchup. Sam Howell of the Commanders, Tua Tagovailoa of the Dolphins.
We do indeed, and something I'm going to be watching for. Who can get off to a fast start? If you can go out and get points on the first drive, preferably a touchdown, you can really set the tone for the game. And I think that both of these quarterbacks are more than capable of doing just that.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might have considered that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Let's go now. Yellow.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Smith, red. Check white.
They keep it with Penny on first down. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Cut.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Okay,
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Ready?
Here's Tua. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Taking it about the 16. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
First and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders at their own 27. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
From the 29, Howell gets it to Strong. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. 3rd and 1. Howell's going to throw it. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shot Mike McDaniel. He's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call. And out comes a challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Now they go play action with Howell. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds right shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now throwing on first down here. This will be caught just inside the 10. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Off play action. It's Howell. Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders.
What's going on so long?
A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
So here is Washington now to take over. They were losers to Philadelphia a week ago. Now they find themselves in the lead as they start this drive. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The play fake, and now here's how to throw it. And that is incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Two in the Dolphins offense getting ready to take over once again. And he's had his struggles here early with a couple of interceptions as he'll try to refocus with a 1st and 10 to start this drive.
Check pink.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Ready, ready.
Penny up the middle. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Come on, set.
6 DBs on the field for Washington on third down.
Set.
Now Tua. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
That was the most Antonio Gibson thing I've ever seen.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
To review the play.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Howell. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. This is intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on the job.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. It's Tyreek Castro Fields who picked it. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Washington's offense ready to go again. There's Antonio Gibson. He only has a single solo carry, 1, numero uno. 2nd quarter, they need to get to the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry, kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Cool. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Howell, 3rd and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They begin with a run by Penny. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tua over the middle and complete to Waddle.
Holding offense. That penalty is declined.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Tua going to throw. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Penny, a first down carry. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We get started up in the Meadowlands. Arizona making the trip east to take on the New York Giants. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front in that one. A touchdown run for James Conner. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Zay Jones, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Tylan Wallace, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. Both of these coaching staffs feverishly making their final plans for the second half. One of these 2 teams is going to get their first win. And for the call, let's kick it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 15 now. Howell. His throw incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And the man open here is Strong. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Howell down to throw it. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's got a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about,
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and the Commanders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Roughing the passer.
Oh, my God.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
an absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the post game. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Robinson up the middle. 52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Sam Howell, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Commanders take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right, because this team felt like they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything went wrong in game 1. They took care of business with it in game 2.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Yellow, Smith red.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Inside handoff, Penny. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. 3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
Check pink. Dark swap. Opposite. Green. Blue. Check.
From the gun, it's Tua. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Ready.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. And he finds Penny. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line.
Yellow. Line. Switch. Yellow.
They go back to the ground now with Penny to the 27-yard line. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now we got whistles before the snap. Looked like one of the Commanders jumped.
Ball start. Offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
They'll go play action. Howell on the move to his left. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 2nd and 15 now. Howell. He's got a man complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
What's the deal, y'all?
You look stupid.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. A give left side to Robinson. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. But they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Faking the handoff. Howell rolling to his right. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point. Washington on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Commanders start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dolphins offense returning to the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw again on second down. Tua, that's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Ready, go.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Tua over the middle, complete. That's Hill. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line. Tua hit, and the ball is out. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Here's Tua. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points. But he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. And his kick is right there. It's good, and now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. But they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking for Strong, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So it's Washington getting the victory here. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today, and really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense, and let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Commanders, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll be on the road next week for a match.